Well, good morning. My name is Tim Murphy, and I'm here with Mark Frisco. Mark, what are you doing?
Scratch offs, man. I'm trying to win some money.
Jeez. Well, okay. Well, anyway, Mark is with the famous office of Jobin Real Estate. He's one of the partners with Rick McNabb there, and I'm with C&F Mortgage Company. Mark's located in Hollywood, Maryland, right down the street from Dean's Lumber, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm located in Waldorf, Maryland, across the street from Thomas Stone High School. And, you know, I'm not sure why Mark is doing scratch-offs in the middle of our commercial, but we wanted to give you an idea, really, when you start thinking about real estate, what real estate is not, Mark, and it's not a...
Gamble.
Exactly right. It's not a gamble. That's good, Mark. I think you've proven your point. When you think about real estate, and that's one of the things we wanted to talk about today, you know, we do our bus tours and we do our workshops. A lot of people have still not, you know, jumped into the marketplace because they really don't realize what's out there. I really believe that. They don't know about the market. They don't know about the houses, the prices. So today I thought we'd talk about some of the things that people are gambling with.
Right.
And this kind of, what do you think one of the first ones is, Mark? What would you say?
The tax credit. We got the $8,000 tax credit. It's expiring November 30th, so we're really gambling with time.
We really are. And Mark's got probably one of the lead ones in there is that November 30th is when you have to have bought the house and literally moved in. That's not write a contract that date.
And I think a lot of people know that this tax credit's there, but you know they just think that it's going to be there forever, and it's not. You know they are thinking about extending it next year, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That's a real good question because right now, in fact, I heard this study the other day. They have spent over, I think it's $11 billion right now so far. It's been the cost for the current $8,000, and the question really is, who's going to pay for it?
Yeah.
You know, can they extend it? Now, there are a lot of bills out there suggesting they're going to extend it, suggesting it's going to be more, but there's also bills to kill it. So you got to start thinking about that's probably one of the primary
We're spending
gambles.
a lot of money on it. So.
You really do. And so, you know, to get free money like that,
got to take it while it's there.
Well, it's better than you're doing with scratch-offs right now so far. What other things are people gambling on right now?
Interest rates.
Yeah, interest rates are phenomenal. I mean,
interest rates are definitely going to rise in the next year. It's only going to stay as low as it is for right now. What are they, like 4.5%, 5%?
4.5%, 5% is kind of what we're kind of dealing with, depending upon the closing help and the points and all that kind of crazy stuff. And that's 30-year fixed rates. You know, and that's an amazing rate when you think about it. But Mark's right. Next year, we expect to see things slowly go up. And they're going to go up because of inflation, because of taxes. And let's face it, we've got to begin really paying back the money we've used for the stimulus plans that are out there.
Right.
So we do expect to see things slowly rise. And they're saying 5.5%, 6%. So you're right. That's a huge gamble. So you got the tax credit, you got interest rates. What else do you think is a gamble?
Well, like closing costs, things like that. That's not always going to be there.
Well,
right now, we can get people to pay all the closing costs, and I think that people who are buying houses today think that that's always going to be there as well.
So seller help, yeah. I mean, right now, you know, with Mark and with Barbara and with Rick, I mean, these guys have become what I think, you know, the negotiating, you know, gurus, if you will, knowing how to work the real estate, knowing how to work with the seller and the listing agent to maximize the closing help, which in essence gets you the lowest rate possible and gets you that best deal possible that's out there. So, so he's right about that because 3 years ago we didn't get the seller help that we're getting today. So that's a huge gamble. You don't want to let it get away from you.
Right.
What else do you think, Mark, that's happening out there as far as could be a gamble that people are not, you know, relying on? We did interest rates. We did the tax credit. We've done seller help. What else do you think is out there?
The foreclosures.
Foreclosures, yeah.
They're not going to be there forever either. I mean, we're always going to have foreclosures, but not like we do in this market. And here's the thing. Foreclosures nowadays are not what they've been over the past year, where you're walking into these houses that are full of lots of damage and this and that. Some of these foreclosures I'm seeing are coming in at the same price as the houses that are damaged and everything else, but they're not damaged.
What about the one that Chad's buying right now? What did the bank actually do?
The bank went in and they put fresh paint and carpet, and that's really all the house needed. And the house went from something that looked terrible to this beautiful home that looks almost brand new. And they're getting it at $25,000 less than what it's valued.
So that's the incredible thing. I think, you know, people had this old idea that, oh, foreclosures are bad deals, there's all these problems. And Mark's right, they're taking a risk and a gamble because the banks are actually providing some pretty decent houses.
Yeah.
And they're working with us, they really are. What else, Mark, do you think is out there?
I think people a lot of times gamble with their credit.
Yeah, they think they're ready to buy,
and
their
they're
credit
not,
is not. Or sometimes they think their credit's too bad.
And it's really not.
It really isn't. And
they
that's
could,
so
They can make
important.
minor changes, you know, and pay one thing off and get their credit up, and they could buy a house.
And that's one of the things that we have found, especially in the workshops, when people start talking about credit and they say, you know what, my credit's not good enough, or I've got some issues. Until you pull the credit,
it's all
go
about
through everything.
Being educated.
It really is. It's having that knowledge.
All about having someone with experience telling you what it's like to buy a home, to get a loan, and everything like that. You sit back and you think about it, and a lot of people think that they need 10% down when really you can get 100% financing. It's all about knowing the business, and when honestly you need to speak with someone like us.
Well, and I think that's what works well. I mean, we have that team in place. It's Rick, it's you and Rick and Barbara, and then it's my team, which is me, it's Nicole, it's Dawn, Molly, and Tracy. And together we do a phenomenal job in bringing you through the whole process. And then we bring our home inspector on board, and he helps you to identify the problem, to see what's out there, to see the condition of the property. And then we use residential title quite a bit as well for our title work. And so together as that whole team concept, that brings into place really, to me, more of a stress-free, if you will, process.
It is stress-free. Like buying a house should be easy. It should be a fun process. It shouldn't be frustrating. You shouldn't have to worry about if the house is going to fall down when you move in it. But and that's why we do these things. That's why we inspect the home before you move in it, so you know what you're looking at.
And that's important too. We really cover a lot of the strategies that are out there, and people don't realize from a negotiating strategy, not only is it getting closing up, but it's also making you have a home inspection. It's having a home warranty. It's understanding how to maximize the sale price and what to offer and when, and how to identify when properties come, the interest rates. There's so many factors. One of the things we didn't touch on. Do you think prices are going to stay as low as they are today, Mark?
I honestly don't think they are. I think that we are at the bottom. And I
have to agree. Mark's one of the things that he and I were talking about just before we came in. We talked about, we're seeing where our clients are making offers, but they're not the only offer, are they?
Right. You're competing with other people, which is bad in a situation when you're going to buy a home. You have a lot less leverage when someone else is offering right next to you, and it's kind of like this bidding war you get into, and then before you know it, you're paying more for a house than you should be. That's why you got to jump on it. You got to be the first one in the negotiations, and that way that you can get the deal that you need to get.
Well, and that's really true. And a lot of times we'll see prices drop, and people say, "Okay, I'm ready to bid now," but you got to be ready, because this is not going to be a buyer's market forever.
It won't.
It really won't. And when it starts to turn, people are going to say, "Oh, geez, man, I should have gotten started early." So that's why real estate really isn't a gamble. It's a matter of it's understanding the process. It's getting that education you talked about, having a team in place, and really knowing, all the steps that take place and beginning them early. So if you're thinking about it, you might want to come to either one of our workshops or the bus tour. In fact, we just got finished with our last workshop, but the bus tour is going to be on
the 17th.
That's this Saturday coming up, as a matter of fact. And we start. It runs from about 10 to 3:30. And we've been seeing between 15 and 18 houses. So we see a lot of houses. We feed you, so we always do well there. And at the same token, we have a home inspector, and then either myself and Rick and Mark. You get a chance to see everything out there. And the workshop is going to be this coming Tuesday, the 20th, right?
The 20th.
And that runs from 7 in the evening till 10. And we do feed you, whether it's going to be Subway or it's going to be pizzas. Every now and then we do Outback. It depends on how crazy we feel that day. So that's what you want to do. You want to get that knowledge. You want to really meet the people. And I like to say you want to really see somebody eye to eye. And so to get a hold of us, either first Mark, you can get a hold of Mark or Rick or Barbara. You can reach them at the office number. That's 301-373-6257. You can always go on Rick's cell phone. That's the 410-231-5510, or the allsouthernmdhomes.com. The website's really phenomenal.
You can contact us directly from the website. You just shoot us an email from the website. I think there's a contact us form in there, and just any questions you have, anything you want to know,
just give us a holler. The other thing too is you can reach me at my phone number right here, and we're here for you 24/7. And we'll see you there.